Hello everyone, in this video I'll show you how to use the architecture sketch and blueprint Photoshop action. Now before we jump into the details, let's view a few examples. With this Photoshop action, you can open your image and you can mark the area where you want to apply the main effect and turn it into something like this. It has got various elements which you can edit after the effect has been applied, like these color splatters can be hidden and individual hatching elements can also be toggled hidden, and you can create more complex and different patterns. The second part of the action is a blueprint action with which you can turn the architecture sketch into a blueprint called blueprint look. Now this is a sketch effect with the color splatters hidden, and this one is a clean sketch effect with different hatching patterns also hidden. Here partial color splatters layers are hidden, giving it a partial colored and partial sketched look. The action also creates 10 predefined color lookups, which you can simply apply by showing the individual color filter layers. Okay, so now let's open our image, and before we proceed we need to check few settings. Click image and select mode. We need to make sure that RGB color is checked and also 8 bits per channel is checked. Now click this icon over here, this layout list, and select panel options. Make sure use default masks on fill layers is checked, and also add copy to copied layers in groups is also checked. Now we need to make sure our main image is a background locked layer. In case it is not, it is something like this, like layer 0 or something else, we need to change it and make it into a background locked layer. To do that, go to layer, new, and select background from layer. This will turn our layer into a background locked layer. Now let's load up the action. To do that, go to window, actions. The action panel will open up, and click this flyout list and select load actions. Select the architecture sketch Photoshop action and select load. Here you can see that the architecture sketch Photoshop action has loaded, It contains two parts. The first one is the architecture sketch, main architecture sketch Photoshop action, and the second one is the blueprint effect. Okay, now let's load up the brush. Select the brush tool and click this drop down menu and click this gear icon and select load brushes. Select architecture sketch brush and select load. Now let's load up the patterns. Select edit, go to presets and preset manager. From this drop down menu, select patterns and select load. Select architecture sketch patterns and select load. Okay, one thing to note over here is that the effect works best with images of size around 1500 pixel wide to 4000 pixels and resolution 72 pixels per inch and above. So we recommend using images of high resolution and size for the action to work properly. You can also have a small image and you can increase the size. The image might become blurry, but after that effect is applied, you can always reduce down to your original size. Okay, so now we need to mark the area where we want to apply the effect. To do that, we need to create a new layer above background. To do that, click this new layer icon over here and rename the layer to subject. Make sure subject is in lowercase. It is necessary for the action to work properly. Now select a brush. I'd prefer using a round brush. I just lower the hardness and the size a bit. Okay, now you can take any color you want and brush over the area. Make sure you are painting in the subject layer and fill the area where you want to apply the effect. Well, before we run the action, there's a very important step that we have to take care of. We have to make sure that the brush opacity is at 100% and the flow is also at 100%. This is very important for the action to work correctly. Okay, and now you just need to select the first action. Remember to use the blueprint effect only after you have applied the first architecture sketch action. Just select this action and click play. It will take some time for the action to finish. We'll fast forward from here and come back after the action has finished rendering. Okay, so the action has finished rendering and I will show individual elements and groups and layers and how you can customize and make more complex and unique effects over here. But before that, I'll just run this blueprint effect once and show you how it looks, and I'll then undo the blueprint effect and come over here and show you the edit possibilities. This, when we hit the blueprint effect and click play, it will just show us an alert message to make sure that you have run this architecture sketch action first. So we'll just hit continue over here and wait for some time, and there's the final successful rendition completed alert over here. We have just mentioned that few of the layers are hidden to make it give it a more cleaner look, which you can definitely show afterwards or modify other layers as you like. I'll come back to them after I show the edit possibilities for this architecture sketch. So I'll quickly undo the effect from here. Okay, okay, so this is where we left before we applied the blueprint effect. This is the default effect that you get after applying the architecture sketch Photoshop action. Now let's check individual elements. We have got here background elements, PG elements. It has got a background color. It's a color field there. You can double click on it and change the color, give it a more parchment kind of feel. These are background textures. There's nothing much you can do for these two layers, background green, background texture. Now here's the color splatter elements. You can simply hide it to just turn this image into a clean pencil sketch, or you can hide individual elements and give it a different look. You can also try other things. You can take one of the brushes that were provided and select this layer mask and paint on it with white to reveal, or with black to hide, and create effects. You can also hide parts of the color where you don't want them to be, or apply them at places where you feel like. Okay. You can also duplicate these layers. Right click and select duplicate. Now you can also free transform them, but before you free transform them, make sure you unlink this layer mask. Select the layer mask and then free transform. Right. Yeah, for now I'll just delete this layer. Okay. Now here we've got the hatching elements. These are the main hatching and outline elements. I'll just hide these color splatter elements for now, so that you can get a clear understanding and clear view when you edit these hatching elements. So these are our main hatching elements. Hiding them will give you a simple, clean sketch. These are the stray lines. It's like extrude out from the edges, and these are the major main lines. You can hide individual hatching elements to give it a different look. Or here also you can take one of those splatter brushes and select a black color and select the layer mask and paint on the layer mask with black to hide parts of the hatching. Okay. This is the script elements group. Over here we have various scribbles and like measurements elements. This is a background script. This gives an effect of like writing on a different page, and it just makes a see-through effect on our main image. If you don't like the intensity of this, you can always turn down the opacity a bit. These are various scripts and scribbles writing. You can right click on an element and select free transform, then you can rotate or resize and move them around. You can also right click and select duplicate, select the move tool, and you can move them around. You can also free transform and change the opacity a bit. Okay, it goes same for all the script elements over here. These are the toning elements. It's better kept as it is. And this one is the 10 color effects group. You can simply toggle this visibility boxes and apply the effects. These are the overall adjustments. You can turn it into a black and white. You can turn it invert. For invert, I'd recommend hiding the color splatter groups. You can change the brightness and contrast. Change overall levels. We've got overall curves adjustment. Overall hue saturation. This is an overall gradient fill. You can change the blending mode. And also you can change the color. This one is the overall color fill layer. You can apply a solid single color effect onto your image. Okay, that's it pretty much for the editing of the different elements and groups that you have over here. Now let's open and apply our blueprint effect once again, and over here we can change our blueprint color to anything we like. Here also I would recommend when you apply this blueprint effect, it's better to keep this splatter elements off and tone down the hatching lines a bit. To do that, you can take your brush and selecting of the brush splatter brush tools and select color black and select the layer mask and tone down the hatchings to give it a more clear look. Okay, so that's it pretty much for the architecture sketch and blueprint Photoshop action. Hope you enjoyed this action and see you soon.